The workers are almost done building a lift to the deep roads. No Darkspawn trouble yet, but the earthquakes have been brutal.
I was told to meet a Shaper, Volta.
She's waiting below. You won't see an Orzammar dwarf on the surface. They have rules about that.
You'd think with so many of us up here, they'd relax the restrictions.
If anything, this breach business has made them even more cautious.
How many quakes have there been since you arrived?
At least 3 big rumblers. And the aftershocks are nothing to sneeze at. My feet miss solid ground.
Josephine's report mentioned several lyrium mines were damaged by the quakes.
You'll see what's left of this one on your way down. From what I hear, the other mines are barely holding together.
So you haven't seen any Darkspawn up here?
I sharpened my arrows just in case, but they never showed. I'm okay with that.
It's hardly the time for a lyrium shortage. Orzammar's mines need all the protection they can get.
I'd offer to go with you, but someone should keep watch. Plus, I could use the sun if this storm ever clears. The lift's ready for you. Try not to shift around, and keep back from the edge. It's a long way down.
Lowered into a hole. What an auspicious start.
We've been in worse places.
Perhaps you have, my dear.
This reminds me of a story.
Shocking.
It's about an impossibly handsome dwarf and his friend who got crowned King of the Nugs.
A Nug King? Really?
It's not as good as it sounds. Nugs mostly just shit on the floor and roll in it. Welcome to the deep roads.
Is it me, or is this the slowest lift ever constructed?
It's better than climbing down.
I could do with some music. Something with a flute.
Your names will not be forgotten.
You must be Shaper Volta.
A trust Valar, Inquisitor. The Shaper welcomes you to the deep roads.
You look as though you're hiding from something.
As a citizen of Orzammar, even a glimpse of your sky could cost me my position and render me castless.
Gotta love real dwarves.
What does a Shaper do, exactly?
We chronicle the life and times of our people.
You're historians.
Also scholars and genealogists. Shapers preserve knowledge in the memories, an archive in Orzammar. We record memories in Lyrium to ensure they never fade. We must be meticulous in every detail.
How many dwarves have you lost?
More than we can count. The mining caste has suffered greatly. Our situation has worsened since we contacted Skyhold. The quakes collapsed this mine and shattered a seal, keeping the Darkspawn at bay. The Legion of the Dead hasn't been able to mend the broken seal, and we can't afford to lose any more lyrium.
What will happen if we lose more lyrium mines?
The surface needs lyrium for all sorts of magic. The Inquisition more than most, I understand. And Orzammar's economy relies on the lyrium trade. Without it, there will be chaos above and below.
Orzammar deals with Darkspawn all the time. Why request the Inquisition's help?
The Legion isn't prepared for this level of disaster, and the Grey Wardens haven't answered our calls for aid. Any threat to the flow of lyrium requires immediate response. The Inquisition is the only force we can rely upon.
The Inquisition stands ready to aid Orzammar. Without a steady lyrium supply, things on the surface will get even worse.
Apologies for pushing you.
Aren't you a polite thing?
I fear the damage that tremor caused. Follow me to the Legion camp.
An ogre!
I hate the deep roads.
Right now! It's not focused on us! Now's the time to attack!
You have my gratitude.
Just returning the favor.
If the ogre reached this point, the Legion must be overwhelmed. Let us hurry. I will never get used to the stench of Darkspawn. They corrupt everything, even the air. That's the broken seal ahead. It is worse than I thought.
Get those charges to the tunnels! Someone prime the sonic fuses!
We can't lose this position! Hurry!
Can't set the charges with those bastards breathing down our necks!
Clear out the Darkspawn! Now, set the charges!
Inquisitor, meet Lieutenant Wren, a veteran of the 5th Flight and one of the Legion's finest commanders.
Someone paid her to say that. Appreciate the help, Inquisitor. Collapsing that seal bought us time. Blighters had the run of these tunnels for days. Now they have a roadblock.
How many deep roads are there? How deep do they go?
They'll take you from one side of Thedas to the other, if you have a death wish.
The roads once connected dwarven cities that were hundreds of miles apart. Then came the Darkspawn, Ren and I have been exploring this region, reclaiming it, but the work is slow.
Mark the map, fight an army. Mark the map, fall in a hole. And so on.
I get the impression you two have known each other a while.
Yeah. The Shaper had sent her to dig up some relics. Asked me to keep her out of trouble. That was 3 years ago.
You can quit any time.
Not when we still have things to fight about.
The Legion of the Dead has the Inquisition's full support.
That's the best news I've heard since the Quakes began. Actually, the only good news.
Take cover!
You heard that, yes? The rhythm in the tremors? It's clearer, stronger, more insistent.
I hear it. Doesn't prove a thing.
These quakes are not a natural disaster. They're deliberate. There's an intelligence behind them.
If something is causing them, the strength required would be incredible. What could do that?
Here we go.
I found an ancient text during an expedition with Ren last year. At the time, it was just a curiosity, but now... The text describes giant creatures, called Titans, living deep underground. They sing in the stone, shaping it. When these quakes began, I believe we heard that rhythm. I believe a Titan is causing all this destruction.
I've never heard of Titans before. What else can you tell me about them?
The text I found predated the First Blight. Its pages had mostly rotted away. And there's no mention of the Titans in Orzamar's memories.
Which tells you something.
All I heard was an earthquake. How is it you and Ren hear a rhythm?
With respect, Inquisitor. You were born on the surface. You don't have our connection to the stone.
Shapers have great stone sense. And Volta's better than most. She never gets lost.
You speak of the stone like it's more than walls.
The stone is eternal. She was here before us, and remains after we die.
But the stone isn't your god.
We don't worship her, but we do respect and honor her.
The stone makes us strong, and we return that strength to her when we die. It's difficult to express in words.
Mysterious songs often lure people to their deaths, or to an archdemon.
This rhythm isn't a song, exactly. It sounds like air flowing through lungs.
Air that can collapse a whole mine.
Dangerous, then. But a magic unique to the deep roads might be worth investigating.
In my experience, no explanation is too strange to consider.
For all we know, that text you found was a bedtime story. We can't be sure until we find the source.
The rhythm I sense in the quakes is emanating from somewhere far below. The stone will lead us there.
And if it comes to a fight, that'll be our job. There's a lift at the side passage nearby. Ready when you are. I've been meaning to ask, Inquisitor. Skyhold, how does it... well... hold in the sky?
The old fall into the sky routine.
How do you keep it from floating away?
It's built into a mountain.
Held by the stone, then.
Shaper Volta said you're a veteran of the Blight.
I was a wet-nosed recruit.
But you survived.
Swing your axe long enough, you're bound to hit something.
You must have racked up a few stories.
Maybe when this is all over, I'll have the time and ale to tell them.
Most of Ren's stories end with decapitation.
I'm an efficient guy.
A historian and a soldier. That's an unlikely friendship.
What makes you think we're friends?
The bickering.
Fair enough. Malta's got the stones of a silent sister. Doesn't mean I won't give her a hard time.
I'd like to know more about the Legion of the Dead.
The Legion's pretty straightforward. We keep the Darkspawn out of Orzammar, and we're sodding good at it. Becoming a Legionnaire is a lifelong oath, one that can't be broken. We celebrate our own funerals before coming to the Deep Roads. As far as our families in Orzammar are concerned, we're already dead. Hence the name.
That's quite the commitment.
It isn't a glamorous life. Every Legionnaire has their own reasons for joining. From the common criminal to the deep lord with illusions of grandeur. All are accepted.
What about you? Why did you join?
I had a responsibility.
Thanks for your time.
The Inquisition is on everyone's lips. Even the Assembly has taken an interest. I'm told King Balin wished to meet you personally, but the Deshers talked him down. The earthquakes present too great a risk. When the previous king died, Orzammar nearly fell apart.
House Kadash was exiled from Orzammar long before my time, but no one has ever told me why. Does the Shaperate know?
It's my understanding that your house tried to obtain information about a war golem during the First Blight.
Why would that warrant exile?
Their methods were considered offensive. House Kadash was feared long before it joined the Carta. I wish I could tell you more, but family histories are not my area of expertise.
How does one become a shaper of memories?
I was born with a keen stone sense. It caught the Shaperate's attention, but my passion for history earned me the title. It was never really a choice.
You seem quite excited by the idea that these titans may exist.
My connection to the stone allows me to hear it, but I can only listen. Titans can sing through the stone. It is extraordinary. We call ourselves children of the stone. What does that make the Titans?
What's life like in Orzammar?
I haven't lived in Orzammar for 3 years, but I receive updates. Is there anything in particular you'd like to know?
Do you miss living there?
I do sometimes. Particularly the easy access to a warm bath and clean clothes. But the importance of my work outweighs the comforts of the city.
How's the political climate in Orzammar?
There have been riots due to food shortages, but they will pass, I hope. I've no doubt some Deshers will try to use the situation for their own gain. But the king has a good hold over the Assembly.
We'll speak another time.
I hope we don't run into an emissary.
Oh. Now we definitely will.
I take it emissaries are bad?
Most Darkspawn are mindless killing machines, connected by the Blight. But emissaries are intelligent, and use magic.
This door, there's something strange about it. Looks like our construction, but...
It's missing gears.
we have to find them. It's our only way through.
You killed Darkspawn like you've been doing it your whole life, Inquisitor.
He means that as a compliment.
You're famous, even down here. Is it true you killed a dragon?
Magnificent creatures. Bringing one down is always bittersweet.
I can't even imagine. Tell me about their teeth. I've heard they don't all breathe fire, and their scales have different colors and patterns.
Careful, Ren. I believe you're drooling. I'm sorry, Ren.
You join the Legion knowing you're already dead. You don't fear the killing blow. We rest in the stone and pass our strength back to her. That's our reward. But the Darkspawn defiled these soldiers. They can't return to the stone. They'd only weaken her.
There must be some way to lay them to rest with honor.
We can burn the remains.
Aye. That's all we can do.
Look at that, Ren. Could this be Hedron?
Darkspawn all over it. You can see their torches.
Even Darkspawn appreciate a little mood lighting.
We're getting close to something.
Aye. The fight of our lives. Keep your mouth closed when fighting Darkspawn. Their blood's poison.
Thanks for the warning.
There was this Carter boy, Vaughn, who joined the Legion around the same time I did. Fast with daggers. Could poke 50 holes in a hurlock before the Blighter knew what happened. Daggers are messy. Vaughn swallowed some spatter. Took him 3 days to die.
We need to work on your stories, Grizzly.
Lost a good soldier in the roads once. She fell down a hole. Found her 3 days later.
He loves this story.
She spent a whole day telling us all the strange things she saw while lost. A golden longboat floating in the air. Packs of hairless children hunting nugs. A giant skeleton on a throne.
Was it true?
Never found out. She woke up the next day. Couldn't remember any of it.
I heard the hero of Ferelden came down here during the Blight.
Cardall met the Warden, but I never had the pleasure.
Do you often see Grey Wardens?
From time to time. They're a good bunch. Tough in a fight. Fearless. Get to the emissary leader! Cut it down and they're done! That's the last of those, Darkspawn. Legion's in your debt, Inquisitor.
Look at this, Ren. It's ancient. Maybe 1,000 years old.
Any idea who built it, or why?
This tide is on top of a lyrium mine. According to the memories, the mine was destroyed by some unexplained disaster. The miners must have used this lift to reach the lower levels.
I'm starting to see a trend.
If there is a titan causing earthquakes, it's down there.
I found this book with the emissary. The pages are mostly ruined, but a few are readable. See this line? I awoke to the singing stone. Our kingdom trembled at the Titan's hymn.
Look, there's more. The rhythm bleeds despair. Is this what you've been hearing?
I wonder, can the stone feel despair?
That reference to singing stone. I've been told that raw lyrium has a sound.
A hum. The mining cast follows it to find lyrium veins. They say it's the stone calling to them.
Perhaps it wasn't chance that the quakes destroyed lyrium mines. Is it possible the Darkspawn or their emissary could also hear the song?
The stone would never call to those vile things. But that doesn't mean they can't hear her.
Darkspawn live and die by the Blight. They don't care for much else.
I didn't realize you knew so much about Darkspawn motives.
Not everything's a mystery, Volta. Some things are exactly as they appear.
And some things are not.
How can we be sure what the book says is true?
We shouldn't force connections that don't exist.
Perhaps this will change her mind. Look here. It's the royal seal of Orsec Garal.
King Orsec Garal? That book belonged to a paragon? Maybe you are onto something, Volta.
Of course you'd take a dead man's word over mine. Always the traditionalist.
Hey, challenging tradition lost you a cushy position in Orzammar.
Does a king's book mean that much to you, Ren?
Paragons are the best of our people. They don't hand that title out to just anyone. Not even a king. Knowing it was Garal's book from the start would have saved us an argument.
As if you'd ever avoid an argument.
What does he mean you lost your position? I thought you were a shaper.
Not all shapers have the same duties. Mine were adjusted. When my superiors ordered me to remove an official record from the memories, I declined. We decided it would be best if I served the Shaperate here, finding history instead of recording it.
That record must have been important to risk your position over it.
It was trivial, actually. A childhood friend of King Balin had ancestral ties to the Carta. But the truth is the truth, no matter how political it may be.
The Shaperate can erase official records? Aren't the memories permanent?
Sometimes erasing records is standard procedure. If a dwarf becomes castless, they're struck from the memories. But I was asked to change a fact that someone important merely found inconvenient.
Understandable. Yesterday's all the rage is today's embarrassment.
If the Shaper is willing to erase memories, what would prevent them from covering up the existence of Titans?
Why would they do that?
Because someone in power demanded it.
It takes courage to challenge authority.
I suppose you would know. Some believe the past is what we make it. But we gain nothing from ignoring mistakes.
I'm sorry I brought it up. The earthquakes are what matters. I don't know where this lift leads, but we're about to find out the hard way. Get ready.
These tomes were pristine before the deep roads. Shaper Seabor's going to kill me.
You seem quite excited by the idea that these Titans may exist.
My connection to the stone allows me to hear it, but I can only listen. Titans can sing through the stone. It is extraordinary. We call ourselves children of the stone. What does that make the Titans?
Thanks for the insight, Shaper.
My pleasure, Inquisitor.
We'll speak another time.
What was that?
What was what?
Something moved. There. Light a torch.
So I can see us coming? Just stay close.
The deeper we go, the more oppressive it becomes.
We've gone past the deep roads.
How can you tell? It's pitch black.
I can feel it.
Show yourselves!
Ren!
Not at all.
You deserved better. Ren never wanted this life. He was a cobbler, a good one. He joined the Legion to pay his father's debts. It kept his mother and brother from losing their caste. The poor and desperate here often sacrifice themselves for their family's future.
We will find whoever did this, and make them stop.
The armor on these warriors. There's lyrium woven directly into the metal, and it's bonded to their skin. Impossible to remove, but I know what we'd find underneath. These are dwarves. Ren was killed by our own kind.
They don't look like any dwarves I've ever met.
Me neither. It just doesn't make sense. We've done nothing to them. I won't leave Ren like this. We must return him to the stone. Thrust Tonsha Sauronka. I'll see this through, Ren. I promise.
Anything standing between us and the Titan will regret it.
Like the Wall of Memories in Orzammar, but ancient. Very ancient. The words seem based in Dwarven, but I barely recognize this dialect.
Is it related to our language?
I understand parts of it, so it must be. This word keeps appearing. Shah Brital.
My ancient Dwarven is rusty. Something about guardians?
I believe it means revered defenders.
What needs to be protected all the way down here?
Satanal. Satanal. Cut our tongues, entomb our bodies, watch over the Titan until it stirs. So the warriors who attacked us must be the Shabratal, and they're protecting a Titan.
Are you all right, Volta?
I can hear Ren's objections. Let's keep moving. If more of these memories exist, they may have the answers we need. Strange on the other side. Feel it.
My guess is another earthquake that hits when we're halfway across the bridge.
Watch your step.
That wasn't a quake. Someone sabotaged the bridge, and we don't have time to fix it. There! That ledge! We can reach it if we're careful.
Look there. More ancient carvings.
Aye. But these seem to be about the Titan. It shapes the stone. It is the stone. It sculpts the world within and without.
Wouldn't something that can sculpt the world have to be rather enormous?
It is called a Titan.
So it's a shaper of the stone, like you.
This implies that the Titans are actually sculptors, and our world is their clay.
If Titans shape the stone, could they have actually created it?
The stone must have existed first.
Then the Titans would be the very first children of the stone.
That would have huge implications for my people.
If Titans can purposely reshape the world, the earthquakes could be the way they sculpt the stone.
But the quakes are destructive. Titans would mold the world, not smash it to pieces.
Depending on your perspective, change can be violent.
But if this is true, how could it be missing from the memories of Orzammar? Why would someone erase such an integral part of our history?
Let's answer that after we stop the earthquakes.
The rhythm is louder than ever. We're close.
Look at that. Like stars at night.
All these lyrium veins, and they're completely untapped.
The Shabratal must mine lyrium somewhere. Their weapons and armor are laced with it.
Unless they found another way to harness it. I see no evidence of Darkspawn here.
Let's just be grateful.
But there must be a reason they avoid this place. This weapon of theirs cut through the barrier, but was destroyed in the effort.
Let's keep gathering their weapons. There may be more barriers ahead. You said we're beneath the deep roads. Do you think anyone besides the Shabratal has traveled down here?
We are very likely the first to travel this far. Nothing like these dwarves is mentioned anywhere in the memories. If I had been prepared, Ren might still be alive.
It's easy to blame ourselves when we lose a friend, Balta. But it's not your fault.
I was so focused on the Titan. I didn't consider what else could be down here. The attacks are getting worse.
We must be getting close to whatever they're protecting. Does that say the pure?
Only the pure may pass. All others will be punished. Assuming the Shabratal are the pure,
We're the others who aren't allowed to pass.
could the earthquakes be the punishment?
You found Paragon Garal's book near a damaged lyrium mine. And the new earthquakes destroyed your mine.
But why would they want to destroy the lyrium mines?
I wonder what makes the warriors pure.
You spent long enough this far down, reason might not be your strong suit.
They do wear sealed armor, to to protect themselves from impurities?
Titans, the Shabratal. This could be more than anything we expected.
For all the Shaperit's knowledge, I know so little. This reads like a final warning. We must be nearing the source. Did the Shabratal build all this?
Or was it here before them?
Nothing should surprise me anymore. But this... Wait. The rhythm we followed. We have found the source. But not the Titan.
Ever since we came down here, the deep roads have felt different. Organic. We've been looking for the Titan the wrong way. It isn't like us.
It's huge. Big enough to change the world around it.
We can't see the Titan. Because we're inside it.
If I don't survive, Orzammar must know the truth. Those structures. Could there be a whole civilization in here?
A city within a Titan. Incredible.
And the quakes haven't damaged it. They fight like fanatics. Aren't they afraid to die?
Perhaps they're the Titan's Legion of the Dead.
Don't say that. Look, these are the only memories in this area.
What is that word? Line? Road?
That phrase is the path of purity. And there's a reference to Titan's blood? It says the Shabratal come here to drink it.
The Titan's blood must keep the Shabratal alive and powerful.
But where is it? Unless... Lyrium. The Titan's blood is lyrium.
Every nation on the surface buys lyrium. Orzammar's entire economy is based on the trade.
This is bigger than any one nation.
We have to stop this!
It's all right.
You cast some kind of spell. That shouldn't be possible.
It wasn't a spell. It was an accident. Everything will be fine.
It looked like you were hit by raw lyrium during the battle.
Yes, it should have poisoned me, but I feel fine. Good, even.
You said the song was too loud. It was hurting you.
It was chaos. The rhythm I followed here, but magnified, overwhelming. But it is gone.
You almost killed me. What happens the next time you lash out?
I am in control. I would never harm you, Inquisitor.
Concentrate, Volta. We're still in danger.
The stone is silent. The rhythm has faded, and so have the tremors. But the song still echoes. It tells me things. The breach, that's what disturbed the Titan. It is calm now that it has a connection with one of its children. With me.
Was that the Titan? Did we kill it?
The Titan lives. This was an echo. A guardian. But you silenced it.
Is this what happened at the Tig, where you found Paragon Garal's book?
Aye, but I do not know what disturbed the Titan then. The song may tell me. In time.
You said you were a child of the stone, not a child of the Titans.
I am not certain what I am. But the Titan recognized me. Like a parent hearing its child's voice.
Is it safe for Orzamar's lyrium mines to start operating again?
Mining didn't disturb the Titan. The breach did. The mine's destruction was incidental. Isana. It's our word for lyrium. And we are taught that it is a gift from the stone. But there's so much more to it than we ever imagined. I was sent to the deep roads to recover lost history. This is only the beginning. I am staying here.
If you stay here, where will you live? What will you eat?
I have my stone sense, and now so much more. I'll be safe.
The Shabratal killed Lieutenant Wren, and they're still down here. Aren't you afraid?
No. I am pure. I can defend myself.
The Titan is only the beginning? What else could there be?
The deep roads are filled with wonders. Answers to questions we haven't thought to ask.
You think you understand what's happened to you, but you could be wrong. The lyrium could be turning you into a Shabratal. Or worse.
The Shabratal turned themselves into monsters. I have changed because the Titan willed it. The mine's collapse, Wren's death. It all happened to bring me here.
If she wants to stay, that's her business. I'd like to see the sun again.
Nothing good ever happens in the deep roads. This won't be any different.
I am called to the search, Inquisitor. This is where I belong.
I'm leaving with more questions than answers. But that doesn't mean you have to. Just be careful. The Shaperid in Orzammar will want to know what happened to you.
Tell them the truth. You don't know.
Let's go.
always comes back. Pay up, Salroka.
Shadows fall and hope has fled. Steel your heart, the dawn will come. The night is long and the path is dark. Look to the sky, for one day soon the dawn will come. The shepherd's lost, and his home is far. Keep to the stars, the dawn